So as far as getting into the environmental part, I was really involved with the Union of Concerned Scientists for a long time. And one of the things that they did was this study on what was the environmental impact of a typical American household. Really, really interesting. And I got to be part of the review team for this little book. And you can actually look this up on Amazon. They got a whole bunch of it now. I just discovered. Actually available for reading. You don't even have to buy it, but it's $12 and well worth the price. Keyword, effective. As a environmentalist that really cares about what really makes a difference, this book would blow your mind. There's a lot of misconceptions in the environment, in people with an environmental ethic about what really makes the most difference. And it'll blow your mind. Recycling, great, but that's chump change. That's the small stuff. There's much bigger stuff. And as part of reviewing this book, it's full of tables. Tables. And I said, you know, guys, not a lot of people besides me are going to be interested in trying to sift through all these tables. What if we did a chart? And they're like, nah, we don't want to do a chart. So I did a chart. Next slide. It's not in the book, but it's available here. And what's really interesting about what we found, or what I didn't find, I was just reviewing the book. A bunch of scientists with the union figured this all out. For, again, a typical American household doesn't necessarily represent Nevada County, okay? But environmental impact. There's no such thing as unenvironmental impact. There are categories. You got greenhouse gases, air pollution, common, toxic, same thing with water pollution, common and toxic, habitat alteration in terms of water and land use, different categories. This key kind of takes you from the bottom of the chart up by color. The first part is transportation. The next is food. I'm not going to talk about either one of those, although I would really love to, but maybe another workshop. And then household operations, and this is about 99% electricity and gas, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Notice something here interesting. Greenhouse gases. Your household electricity use, at least typical American family, is actually contributing a little more to greenhouse gases than transportation. But then if you want to talk toxic air pollution, wow, what you driving, right? Makes a big difference. Water pollution, what are you eating? And how much of it? You know, is it local, is it organic? So just in one graph, what really struck me after I put this together was that just these three categories, transportation, food, and household operations, that's why I drew this little line here. If you come up to the top three, there's worldwide wrestling going on up there. It's about 80% across the board. Look at that. You know, these three, 80%. So if you focus on these three in your household, if you care about the environment, that's where you're going to make the most difference. The other thing that I've been really interested in the issue of climate change for years, and this is another thing the Union of Concerned Scientists put together, and we all got a pre-release copy, don't distribute till we've had a chance to talk about it. This is from 1999. I just broke this out the other day to show Anata, and I was leafing through it. It would chill you to the bone. The section on wildfires.
They're right on the money, aren't they?
20 years ago, 1999. Yeah. So it's not like this is something new, you know. We've known about this for a while. Next slide. Okay, on resilience, this is the energy part. And we spent a lot of time talking about this, but resilience is important to us as a community. Why? Well, maybe just go down the hazard column. How much do we like disruptions in our power? When the power goes out. Nobody's big fans of having PG&E go down all of a sudden because there's a little wind kicking up. loss of power at critical loads. So it's the summertime, there's not enough power to go around because everybody's turning their air conditioners on. There's things that we can do about that as a community. Inability to shelter in place safely. There's, you know, issues with buildings. I mean, there are senior citizens that don't have much money that have a hard time keeping warm in the winter or cool in the summer. Anybody experienced extreme discomfort in the summer months in your home? You know what I'm talking about. There's climate change. We were just looking at that. I won't go into that too much because that's outside the scope here, but it's a far more serious issue than I believe 95% of the population can comprehend. I've been looking at it since around 1980. But it was in the 90s that it really started hitting me. Working at the California Energy Commission, every month the journal Science would come in. And so the first time I was looking through it, I thought, wow, this sounds pretty serious. And I wonder what the next issue has, the latest research. Oh my gosh, really? Seriously? Peer-reviewed stuff? You know, it's pretty scary stuff. But at any rate, these are all the resilience categories, if you will, and some of the indicators, hazards, and solutions. And this whole slideshow will be available for people later. So.
Great.